Well, what's up, YouTube? We need to talk about scams, and we need to talk about you not being scammed. The reality is, for you, if you're in the Pi network or really involved in any other cryptos, there's going to come a day when you stand the chance of being scammed. Will you fall for it or will you not? In today's video, we're going to talk about the top 5 ways that most people get scammed out of their crypto. And you need to know these things because this is the key to protecting your wealth, protecting your opportunity, and just making sure that these terrible things don't happen to you. So how do they happen? And what do people do, these scammers, to be so effective? We're going to cover all of that coming right up. All right, my friends, Wes Spencer here. Thank you guys so much for joining. Hit like, hit subscribe as we watch through this video together. It really does mean a lot for me and for this channel. Okay, let's talk about scammers. They are rampant. They are everywhere. And they're doing this in crypto because it is so incredibly easy. We all know the awesome scammer YouTube videos that are out there, and even Mark Rober, who I got to meet this past month. Let me tell you, he's as amazing in person as he is in his channel. I truly look up to him. We know that scammers are everywhere, whether they're stealing Amazon packages off your front door, whether they're going after what we call elder abuse, tricking people into sending and wiring out tons of funds, especially those that are elderly, or even gift card, like scams of all kinds. We know that these things are real and they're terrible. And crypto is even more pervasive. And the reason it's pervasive is because it's so incredibly simple. It's not difficult for a bad guy to jump in, steal your money, and completely stay anonymous. So let's talk about those 5 different ways that you're going to get scammed if you're not careful. The very first one, and probably one of the most important, is you literally just send crypto to the wrong address. Now, I don't mean that you accidentally type it in incorrectly or you copy and paste fail. Those things do happen, and let me tell you, they are painful. But we're talking about scammers, and let's talk about some of the key ways that scammers get involved in forcing you or tricking you into sending crypto to the wrong address. So this happens everywhere, and you've got to be careful. Look at this right here, even on my own YouTube channel. Just look at all the scammers I've had to block over the years, and I'm constantly doing it as much as I can. In fact, the volume is so much that as much as I block them, they continue to come back. They always come back. And unfortunately for me, YouTube has very little controls to help address all of these repeated offenders. So here's your rule of thumb. If Wes Spencer reaches out to you personally or replies to your YouTube comment and he wants you to talk to him over some alternative channel like Signal or WhatsApp or email or some Instagram thing, let me just tell you, it is not me. I am never going to reach out to you personally, and definitely I'm not going to reach out to you for some investment advice. I mean, think about my channel. All I talk about is the cybersecurity piece and how scammers work and how you're going to lose your money and being safe and wise with your own crypto investment. And also, what's my #1 mantra? You know this: never listen to crypto YouTubers, especially for financial advice. They will run you aground. Go look at all the videos in my video history and I'll show you examples of even some of the top crypto YouTubers out there with 1 million+ subscribers that completely are in it for their own financial gain and happy to steer you underwater if that means they come out ahead. So just know, if I reach out to you, it is not real. They're scamming you, I promise. Now, another thing that we need to talk about is how these crypto scams work. See, they're very insidious and they're very smart. And if you can learn the tools of the trade, you can actually stay in front of these things in a powerful way that will keep you out of significant loss. Let's dive into how some of these work. First of all, cyber criminals usually, when they get involved in these, what they want to do is they oftentimes use YouTube, they use Twitter, they use some kind of live stream platform of some kind. And what they'll do is they'll steal access. They'll use credentials to break into somebody's account of a high-level YouTuber. Normally, these accounts are just stolen. And they find the username and password, they phish the user for the credentials, but in some cases they also spin up a brand new channel and they use bots and other grayware YouTube services that spin up a lot of live viewers. So this is what they love to do. And the live viewer count is really, really powerful because you go in and you watch a live stream, and not only does the YouTube algorithm pump up streams that are live that have a lot of viewers, and you're going to see that in your feed, but also it gives a sense of legitimacy, doesn't it? You see that, it's like, well, there's 3,000 people watching this live stream. This must be real. And then the next thing that they do is they choose an influencer that everybody knows. There's usually two that they'll choose. They'll either choose Elon Musk himself, or they will choose Vitalik, who's the creator and founder of Ethereum. Now, let's tie this back into the Pi ecosystem for a minute. I have not yet seen this happen, but I'm just telling you it will happen. Once you see these Pi crypto scams, they're literally going to take the same script of getting access to a high, well-known crypto YouTuber, maybe even someone like me, which is why I work really hard to keep mine safe. They will then do a live stream and they will steal a video, for example, from the core team talking publicly. And it doesn't even matter what they're saying. What they'll do is they'll overlay on the top and the bottom of the video, go here for this awesome opportunity. And because you see thousands of people watching the live stream, because you recognize it as somebody you know, especially in this case, maybe a member of the core team, you fall for the scam. And that scam is really, really nasty. Mark my words, you're going to see this happen with the Pi network as well. So what happens in these scams is very simple, but it's very effective. The scammer will invite you into doing one of these double your crypto kinds of investments. In other words, send me 1 Pi and I'll give you 10 Pi back. Send me 100 Pi, I'll give you 1,000 back. Send me 500 and I'll give you 5,000 back. It's usually some kind of thing like that that gives you multiple opportunities, and you think, well, I could do 1 and get 5 back. Well, I've got 50 free. I could get 50 out for 500, whatever the numbers are. And it's so enticing because it feels absolutely legitimate. And what you do is you have to send this to the crypto scammer's wallet. Now look at this example right here. What these bad guys did was on the YouTube channel, they would then link people to go to this website, and you'd click onto it, and that's where it would show what you see right here, the scam in action, saying, here, send us this crypto and we'll give you some back. Now the question is, are these things effective? Well, obviously they are, because I'm covering this on this channel. They're extremely effective. In this particular example that I just showed you, the damages in 1 week, less than 7 days, the bad guys made out with $243,000 worth of crypto. Don't mistake the fact that bad guys will do the same thing in the Pi network. When there's enough users with enough transactions, you will begin to see them do the same exact thing with the same playbook, just using the Pi core team or other Pi influencers, hopefully not me, and they'll get this and they'll try to use it to fool you into sending those crypto. So if you ever see me on a live stream, and you ever see me offering to give you crypto, if you send some crypto to me, I promise you it is not real, it is not me, it is fake, and you cannot trust it. So that is the number one thing you've got to know to keep your crypto safe. Now, the number 2 thing that you've got to know, and this one's important as well, is you accidentally give up your passcode. You know the passphrase that's in your Pi wallet? If you haven't seen my videos on setting up your wallet, go check those out. I will make sure to leave those in the description so you can go into each of those, but every one of you has a unique passphrase. That passphrase is a string of words that you must keep ultra secure. That is what lets you unlock your account and recover your account if you switch phones, for example. So if you lose that passphrase, you're going to lose your crypto if you have no other way to recover. And also true, just as important, is if you give that crypto passphrase out to somebody else, you're going to lose it. All I need is your passcode, and then I can steal your crypto. Crypto has always been this way in the wallet ecosystems. Your wallet recovery passphrase is what gives you the rights and the access to your wallet. Nobody needs this. Not the Pi core team, not support people. Literally nobody else other than you needs that passphrase. So keep it safe, keep it locked down, keep it secure. Let's take a look at how bad guys do this. So one of the things you may see is you're on Twitter, right? And you make a crypto statement of some kind saying, man, I'm loving Pi network, or I'm now using Trust Wallet and I absolutely love it. And what'll happen invariably is you'll get a reply that's purporting to be somebody. So I thought, why don't we try this out in real life? So since I'm recording this ahead of time, nobody knows that I'm about to do what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go right here to my own Twitter page and I'm going to send out a tweet about Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet is an awesome web crypto wallet. Also on your phones, it's a mobile wallet. And I'm going to send out acting like I need some help for something and I just want to see the scammers roll in. We're going to take a peek at this and we're going to dive in and take a look at how all of this works. And keep in mind, since we're doing this ahead of time, we know that we are enticing a real scammer who didn't watch this video and went and did this in reverse. They're doing this before this video is published, so we can see how the whole thing works together. So it looks like the lure worked. After just a few minutes of waiting, we take a look here and I have one retweet, one quoted tweet, and 16 likes, but a whole bunch of comments. A bunch of legitimate people saying, yes, I use it, along with some other things that they happen to use. But as we scroll down, notice, show additional replies, including those that may contain offensive content. Why is this here? Well, it's because Twitter has finally wised up somewhat and tries to hide things that have links to external places that may be shady, or even links over to places like Google Documents. And so we can see this right here. We've got this Trust Wallet support. Notice this is at Trust Service SE. This is not Trust Wallet, not at all. So as we take a look at this, notice they're only following 93 people and have 3 followers. Clear giveaway. This is absolutely fraudulent. What they want us to do is send them a private message and get started thinking it's Trust Wallet, only to have them scam us down the road. If we look over here, we actually have links into a couple Google Documents, and we can open any one of these. And so that takes us here. Now you can't see this address, but it is a Google Docs form. I'm loading this in a private window so that there's no exposure to my email address or any other personal data. As we scroll down, we can see they've got some screenshots here, and I can begin to fill out some things that they need to know from me, my email address, how we can help, right? So you can form fill anything you want in here. And then we say, any of these kinds of things. Again, they don't really care about high gas fees or swap exchange issues. They're just simply making this look as legitimate as possible. We explain the issues that we're facing. Oh no, this isn't working. Help. And how long we've been experiencing the issue, as if they care. And then as we go down a little bit further, this is what they're truly wanting. Notice, here we are. Provide the 12 or 24 recovery phrase mnemonic words linked to the affected wallet, separated by a single space for verification and linking, capital L there. Some great grammar there. Kindly note that this is processed by Trust Wallet Encrypted Cloud Bot, whatever that is. Your security is our capital P priority. Do you love our service? Prefer not to say. We hit submit and off we go. And so that's how these types of scams work. Whether it's Trust Wallet, some other crypto, or in the future, Pi Network, you need to be careful and be knowledgeable about how these attacks work. All right, so what's the lesson here? The lesson is what we've already talked about. Never share this out with anybody. Your passphrase must stay secure. If it leaks, if you send it to somebody, if you give it to somebody, if you trust somebody with it, you're going to lose your crypto. Period. End of story. That is the number 2 way to keep your crypto safe, is never give out your passphrase in any way, any form, any means. So let's talk about the number 3 way that you're going to lose your money to a scam. Online. Online scams have not happened yet, but they are going to happen en masse. See, now that the Pi core team has gone through mass KYC, and I understand a lot of us are still waiting to finally get through KYC. I talk to people often at conferences I go to, and they're like, Wes, great to meet you. Can you answer this question about KYC? I haven't got through it. So I know that many of you are waiting. But I want to talk about the next phase in Pi. What's happening is they're working towards getting mass adoption and release of a lot of applications and platforms that will support Pi, so that when it fully releases into open mainnet, users can use their Pi to buy goods and services in a robust way. That's great. But look at this. What you're going to see is not just legitimate apps that are being worked on. You're also going to see scam apps come out as well. And why is that? Well, there's a market for Pi to be used for goods and services. Anytime you have 35+ million users in any crypto platform, you're going to attract a lot of interest, but you're going to get interest not just from the legitimate places, but also from scams as well. And let's talk about how this is going to look. What happens when a fake Pi website gets set up? it might be weeks or more before anyone truly understands and sees that it's fake. Why is that? Because that site may come up and it may promise to you, hey, for 500 pi or 1 pi, whatever the number is going to be, you can get a new iPhone, you can get a new Xbox, you can get a new PlayStation 5, you can get a new iPad, whatever it may be. That's super enticing. And you're like, wow, I'm sitting on a lot of pi. That's super cheap. So you go there, you buy, you pay in pi, you send it to the scammer, and they send you an email back saying, great, thank you so much. Due to supply chain, it's going to be 3 weeks before you get it back, but we'll keep you in touch with every piece along the way. Maybe they send you even periodic updates of products coming in. We're going to have it sent out to you next week, right? And the reason they do this delay is so that no one gets their guard up and they think, oh, I'm going to get my device that I bought. I'm so excited about that. Yay. But the weeks go on, and more people are coming in doing the same thing, saying, hey, I'm excited too. And the longer they can push that out before people start getting unhappy and they realize that the whole thing is a red flag, it will be too late. Too many people will have already sent in their pi to these scammers before they ever even realize they'll never get a device back. Now, this is really scary. And how do you prevent this thing from happening in the first place? Well, one of the key things that exists to make sure this doesn't happen to you is simply this right here. Just make sure that before you go and spend any of your pi on any online platform that you fully vet it. And I'd love to see a lot of platforms, once they've been fully vetted, especially by the core team, is legitimate and real, and we see Twitter users using them and people on Reddit, and there's enough legitimacy on it. Also seeing an escrow system or some kind of buyer and seller protection platform. Look, we know eBay has its problems, but we also know that people use eBay because eBay themselves protect the buyer and the seller. If I buy something and it never comes in, eBay is going to protect me, and vice versa on the other side of the house. So we need to wait until we see good platforms that come out that allow for the protections of buyers and sellers before you just jump in and go buy an iPad for 2 pi thinking you got a great deal only to have it completely scammed away. That is the number 3 way that it's going to happen, and I promise you we're going to see that fall in place for sure. Now, the number 4 way that you're going to get scammed is an exit scam. Take a look at this crypto token that was spun up a few months ago. This was the Squid Game token, and this came out in the same era that the Squid Game TV show on Netflix came out. They were selling 70 million tokens and made $12 million, and the entire thing was a complete rug pull. This is absolutely wild. Now, we know Pi itself is not a staking crypto. It's not a crypto that you can go create other tokens that run on top of it like Ethereum is. That's not the purpose of Pi Network. But I can tell you what you're going to see, the same type of scam work in the Pi ecosystem. You will see people create their own new token that's associated with Pi. And many people, because they don't ever vet and check the crypto out, and they just see, oh, this is the Pi USA token created underneath Pi token, and you can buy it now. Or they attach it to something that happens to be in all the news hype cycles. Many people will see this and think it's legit. And what will happen is these websites will say the only way to buy it is you have to pre-invest with your own Pi crypto. And you send us this Pi crypto and we're going to give you access to these tokens. Now, here's the catch. Unlike the scam before where you never receive that iPad, in this case, you're probably going to receive these tokens. They'll give you some link to it. They'll give it to your wallet address, some kind of thing. It won't be related to Pi itself, as we mentioned, but it'll be some alternative token. And you're like, wow, this is great. And there's going to be a lot of people that get excited about this. And the price of this goes up until the bad guys perform the rug pull. Well, what's the rug pull and how do people lose this money? Well, let's look at what happened with the entire Squid Game token. What happens is these tokens, even though they're real and they come out, they're run by anonymous people. We have no idea who these people are. And trust me, I know that this works in this way because I have so many people reach out to me every single day for me to sponsor their brand new crypto token that no one's ever heard of before. And of course, the founders are anonymous. Now, why are they anonymous? It's a pretty easy assumption here. They stay anonymous so that you don't know who they are. They stay anonymous so that when they perform the rug pull, you'll never know who they are. Their identities are hidden and they can make off with tons and tons of crypto cash, so to speak, right? And that's exactly what they do. Maybe they're not scammers, but because they're anonymous, you have to assume that that could be the case. And so what do those scammers do? Well, since they're the creators of the token, they can actually pre-create or pre-mine or pre-mint as many of those tokens as they want. And that's exactly what they do. So they promise, hey, you're going to make a ton of money on this token and it's related to Pi and you should get into it. You're going to make a ton on this. But what happens is they already have a lot on their own and they're waiting for more people to buy into it, which causes the price to go up. And then as soon as it hits some threshold that they get really happy and juicy about, they start selling their own pre-mined or pre-minted crypto that, keep in mind, they had for free and you had to pay to get yours. And so now they're selling to new buyers that are trying to come in, which costs them nothing, and they're making a ton of money on this complete rug pull. That's how these things work. And some cryptos are even more insidious than that. Sometimes malicious code is written into those tokens that allows them to steal the tokens back or prevent you from even selling your tokens. Remember we talked about Squid Game? That was one of the most famous crypto rug pulls of all time. It wasn't run by anyone from Netflix like we talked about, but through hype and great timing, they inflated the price of their scam token to over $3,000 per token. Crazy. And once they hit that ceiling, guess what? They dumped everything they had. And in just 5 minutes, they nosedived the value of the Squid Game token to absolutely zero. They made $12 million in just 5 minutes. And many people put their life savings into that token. They so believed in it, only to have everything destroyed and wrecked. Yes, that happens. It's super sad. It should never happen. And unfortunately it does and will happen in the Pi network as well. You will see bad guys take the same operating principles that they've been doing in other cryptos and use that in the Pi ecosystem as well. So be very careful of these things. And the best way to make sure that that doesn't happen is just remember, anytime a new Pi token comes out that's not directly Pi itself, your guard should be super high. The core team has never indicated they'll create alternative secondary tokens, and anyone else that says they're creating one, I would not trust in, I would not believe in, because you just simply can't be sure if it's a rug pull. And especially if the founders are anonymous, be very, very careful. And lastly, the fifth way is you install a fraudulent Pi app. Now, this is unfortunately, even in this era in 2022 and 2023, this still happens. The best way to make sure this doesn't happen is to go directly to the MinePi website, the official website as you see right here, and only download their applications from their links. Another way you can check is look at the developer. Make sure it's from Social Chain. Dive into that in the Google Play Store and the iOS Store and make sure that it is indeed from Social Chain. That is the primary company that develops the Pi apps that the core team owns. This is the way to stay safe. You may eventually and occasionally see a Pi application come in into the Google Store especially, but maybe even in the iOS Store, and all it's doing is it's taking your credentials and it's having you type in your passphrase, it's having you log in, whatever it may be, and it just steals your credentials and off it goes. So this one's a super short one, but it's an easy one to be careful of. Just make sure you only download legitimate Pi applications. Don't download one that lets you connect your wallet to it, especially if you don't know who it's from, if you can't confirm it's from the actual legitimate publisher, Social Chain. So there you have it. Those are the 5 ways you're going to get scammed. Now, there could be other ways. This list is not comprehensive. I am not assuming any risk for you. I am not telling you that if you follow all of these things that you will never be scammed. And I'm also, unfortunately, not here to help you out to let you judge and determine if something is a scam or not. As much as I'd love to do that, I have got 2 companies I'm running, also 2 YouTube channels, and I'm just kind of busy. So I'd love to do that, but unfortunately I can't. So when you have questions around this, don't reach out to anonymous sources online. Use your own wisdom, use your own judgment, really truly research the thing in front of you. If it seems to be too good to be true, it probably is. And just remember, all the truths about crypto hold true with Pi itself. If you can't afford to lose your crypto in some activity you might be doing, probably you shouldn't do it. If it's not your keys and not your passphrase, it's not your crypto, so never give it out. These are 2 rules that can take you really, really far, but I encourage you to keep your guard up and be very careful as you move forward in growing your wealth in Pi and any other crypto. If you have questions, if you have thoughts, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to see what you have to say, but just remember, if you hear from some scammer named Wes Spencer who's telling you he's going to answer your questions, help you with investments, and wants you to click on some link, never trust it. It is not from me. Thanks, my friends. Oh, and hey, while you're still here, would you hit like and subscribe? That is the one thing you could do for me that really goes a super, super long way. Thanks so much.